Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Check it out. We are reviewing the VRX Racing BF-4 monster truck today. As you can see, I'm reviewing a bunch of cars and trucks this week, so they're all over the place, but having super good fun with all this stuff. And today's going to be the BF-4 review. We're going to unbox it, we're going to set it up, and we're going to do a bash test out in the neighborhood, do some grass, curbs, rocks, asphalt, all kinds of stuff, and just see how this thing holds up. So let's get started. Okay, so as you can see, this thing comes in two different versions, the 1046 and the 1046C. It looks like the C is the crawler version. I don't even know what version I have this, but it is a 1/10 scale monster truck. So let's just get to it and unbox it and see what we got. Take the top off. Okay, wow, so clear Lexan body, interesting. I would have liked it to be already pre-painted, that flat black that they showed in the picture, but oh well. Maybe we'll do the review with it clear, or maybe I'll shoot some color on it. Roll bar mount here. These are giant wheels, look at this. It feels like they are rubber with foam inside, chrome plastic. So 1, 2, 3, 4 of those. All right, over on the side here, we got the bumpers and a bunch of hardware here with a lug wrench and also an Allen wrench tool. Okay, so controller, and it looks like a little charger. That controller is taking a bunch of AA batteries. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 AA batteries. Oh my goodness. Not sure why you need so many. Maybe this has some good range to it. But kind of liking it. It does have a foldable antenna, and it looks like there is an antenna all the way up inside here, so that's a bonus. We do have a nice rubber grip, not foam, a nice little rubber here on the radio wheel. Charge port there, and also possibly a trainer port there on the back. And then this guy pops up. Reversing throttle and steering rate, and also steering trim, and a power off and on button. So actually a very good and functional radio, that's for sure. Can't say the same for the charger. It's just a pretty generic, a little tiny charger, just a nickel metal hydride battery charger. You can see we have this Tamiya type connector in here. Anyway, let's get to the truck, and it looks like the truck is zip tied in here. And also check that out, we have decals and an instruction manual in the bottom of the box as well. Okay, so we are gonna have to cut these zip ties off, snap these off. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, so 4 zip ties snapped off, and there's our truck. It's free, a big old silica pack for moisture absorption. Get rid of all that stuff, and we're left with the truck. So it actually looks like a really good build here. This thing is awesome looking, and oh my gosh, maybe I got the crawler version because look at that articulation. Holy smokes. At first I was like, oh, what is this thing? It looks pretty toyish, but I'm actually changing my mind, and it looks really nice. And also I kind of like that you can customize, paint your body however you want, and you can put on these decals if you want to. The instruction manual with an antenna tube, and also has the controller manual. So actually I'm doing kind of a 180 right now, and my first thoughts of this was it was a little bit generic like I was saying, but my goodness, look at this thing. It's looking really good. Could be actually a really good crawler truck. Nice thick Lexan body. Bit of a closer perspective here with the camera, and check it out. So taking off the Lexan body, just a basic, like a Ford truck, a Lexan body here that we can customize, like I was saying, however you want. It does look like it's protected with the film on there. Wow, so oil-filled shocks, and it feels really good. This thing is, look at this, it's really just flexing like crazy all over the place. Look at that. Wow, so definitely a possible crawler truck, because look at the motor. The motor's down in the bottom, so it's lowering the center of gravity. A huge motor. This is a 19-turn 550 size motor, so a giant motor in here. And then the axles are huge too. Look at these solid axles here. I'm seeing ball bearings within the axles here on the shafts. Plastic telescoping drive shafts, but that's okay. This isn't gonna have a crazy amount of power because it is just a brushed motor. We have our drag links here to kind of hold everything together since it's got so much movement here. You see how these links kind of keep it from going side to side, and also really good articulation here. If we wanted to really make it into a really soft crawler, we can back off these spring tensioners a whole bunch. Maybe just pull the spring down and back those off. And check this out. We do that and we have an even softer, smoother suspension for really hardcore crawling. Feels really good. The bottom links here going all the way down to the chassis, it looks like we have a bunch of holes in these ones, so if we wanted to adjust our shocks anywhere along the line here, we could. There's the body mounts. You can see these super long ones. So a nice little saddle pack for the battery. Popping this guy out, looks like an 1800 milliamp hour 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride that we're gonna charge with the charger that's included in the box. Let's spin this thing around to the front. This part is interesting because we've got the steering servo here. And you see how it's mounted just right on the top axle, so that's great for crawling. We can keep some of the weight in the front here. And these are all plastic steering links, so nothing metal here. I guess we could upgrade them if we wanted to. Sticker there, it does say waterproof, so I guess you could get maybe the bottom portion of the truck in the water. I wouldn't get this part up here in the water at all, but maybe if you're going through some little shallow rivers, no problem. I'm gonna pop this off real quick, this pumpkin, and if we have a metal gears in here, we know we're gonna have metal gears back there. Yes, it is. So look at that. So it's a metal steel differential, planetary differential. So nothing to worry about as far as stripping in our slow crawling. And look at all that grease packed in there. So we're going to put these back together and continue on. We'll put the tires on and all of the bumpers and stuff on. Kind of interesting chevron, very light chevron tread. But they are very sticky and rubbery and have foam in them. And within that bag, we have quite a bit of wheel hardware. We have 2 drive hexes, and then we have 2 drive hex pins, steel, and we have a lock washers, 2 lock washers, and 2 nylon lock nuts. Cool, so there we go. We are ready for assembly. So what we'll do is we'll pull this out, put our little pin down in this little slot right here. There's a little slot for it, little hole. Put that in, then slide this thing on so that little pin matches up in the slot. And then we just put our wheel on there, spin it till it goes onto that hex. Put our little lock washer on there, a little nylon nut, and then use the tool they gave us in the box and just tighten this thing down fairly tight. All right, cool. So look at that giant wheel. So we're going to do that around, all the way around all 4 tires. Okay, cool. So check that out, guys. Step 1 complete. We got the wheels and tires on, and so this is fully twisted in one direction. You see that? So we're almost getting like a 90-degree twist. So I just went ahead and loosened up all these spring tensioners all the way, and you can see how that when we do pull the chassis up here to where it was to where it is when you release those all the way, check it out. Watch how much it drops. So we're dropping down about, I want to say like a ½ an inch. So a little less height, but it should give us a lot better crawling ability. So guys, the only thing left to do is really get the body together. And it looks like you have some options here. So if you wanted to put on these bumpers, all they do is using the hardware, you can see how there's holes in the body here already pre-cut. And then there's little holes in the bumper. You just basically choose some of the screws they give you already in the package here, and you're just going to use those screws and just screw them in from the inside out. I'd recommend definitely painting the body first if you do decide to paint your Lexan body before you put these on, because these are already kind of pre-painted silver kind of metallic look. Same theory is you put that on here. There's 4 holes in the bed of the truck here in the Lexan, and you just screw from the bottom up. So let's charge everything up, guys. Get some new fresh batteries in the remote control, charge up that nickel metal hydride, put it in here, and let's just see how it does bashing around in the neighborhood. Let's go drive. All right, guys, so let's give this BF-4 a little bash. I did paint the body, by the way. There it is. Cement gray. Pretty cool, huh? I could have done a little better by blacking out the windows. Would have been nice. These are just the stickers the truck comes with. All over here. Went ahead and screwed on the bumpers, front and rear, put on some of the stickers, put on this little roll bar. Would have been cool if the stickers were black for the windows, because all they really give you is like a rim around there. So I might just paint the black the windows black eventually. But anyway, there it is. Mirrors are on and everything. Looks pretty cool. Kind of like a cement gray color. I just basically painted it with a primer paint Rust-Oleum from the inside, not even really hobby paint, and did pretty well. In the manual it does say the ESC can actually handle a 2S LiPo. I don't have any LiPos with this connector though in that kind of form, so I'm just using the stock nickel metal hydride battery. And I also put the body post clips all the way to the top, and then I just cut a little bit of pieces of foam here and put them on top just so it didn't scratch the new paint job from the inside of the body. And the reason I lifted this so high is because there's so much travel on this that when you do have the body on, if you don't put it all the way up, these tires actually will scrape into the body when you're doing like some really articulate movements with the suspension. Okay, so let's get this guy on here. I just drilled a hole for the antenna. By the way, while I'm putting this body on, I should probably mention in the manual it says you can get like a crawler kit for this. Apparently this isn't really the crawler kit, but there is a crawler kit with a different motor, different gearing. There's differential lockers. You can put in the differentials so it locks both front and rear diffs if you wanted to. Okay, well there it is. Looks pretty cool, huh? I'm really liking the look of it. Let's see how it runs. So I already have the battery plugged in. I'll just go ahead and turn it on with this switch here. Hearing a little tone. And then we're turning on the controller. And we are ready to go. Okay. So first of all, we'll go and do kind of a full blast throttle. It's only 7.2 volt nickel metal hydride, so we're not going to have crazy power, but here we go. So from a standstill to full throttle now. And that's it. That's its max speed. Okay. So definitely not a super fast race truck. This is older tech with brushed motors, and at least it does have oil-filled shocks, so that's awesome. Braking. Wow, so it brakes pretty good. Let's do a full throttle and then a brake. Let me go reverse out here a little bit. And let's come in fast and do a brake. Full brakes. Wow, it's actually braking pretty hard. Cool. So you can see, let's do kind of a little bit harder of a turn. It definitely does look like a monster truck. You know what it looks like? Does the BF stand for Bigfoot? I don't know. I'm not really a monster truck follower, but maybe this is like the BIGFOOT 4 edition. I don't know. It does look like a monster truck though, doesn't it? It's definitely hard to flip. I can't flip it because it's got so much chassis roll. There's that torque roll, I guess you call it, where the front right tire is lifting up. Woo! That's pretty cool. It doesn't do that so much on the left side though, because the motor's spinning the other way. Cool. Well, that's it there for our speed. Let's just see how it goes in some grass. Yeah, so that's its max speed. Cool. Let's get into some rocks and curbs and stuff. Let's go over some rocks first. Now this truck does have like crawler flex, so it's actually should be able to handle rocks really good. It does look pretty cool with that cement paint job, doesn't it? I like it. I might do more with this truck. I might turn it into a full-on crawler. But here it is. So this isn't even the crawler kit, but it can crawl pretty good. It doesn't have really super low torque, so I'm just kind of feathering the throttle. And of course it doesn't have lockers, so when we get into some weird situations, you're probably gonna see the differential slipping there in the rear. The front's grabbing. But yeah, look at that chassis, or the articulation on the suspension is amazing because it's just got crazy articulation. Let's try to get up a curb here. First we'll go kind of front on. See if it can do it. Definitely climbs up, no problem with that 4-wheel drive. Oh, not quite though on the straight ahead, so maybe we'll try to do a little bit of a side approach here. Okay, let's try to get up with one wheel. There we go. And then we'll kind of turn it. There we go. Yeah, so pretty much no problem. It just got right up. Just gotta have a little bit of turning ability. Look at that. So this truck looks like it's gonna be a great crawler, even if you put some more aggressive and possibly even higher profile tires. You can put some pretty high profile tires on this thing. There's that differential again, slipping. Come on, there we go. Nice. So great crawler potential for sure. Awesome. So far liking it. It's just, you know, it's older technology. No brushless in this kit here. But definitely a cool truck if it's a good price. There's that articulation again. You can see that thing is great. Pretty awesome. And even with the springs kind of little higher tension, I have those tensioners adjusted. It seems like it's still able to push the spring all the way up and use the full travel of the shock. And because when I had those tensioners all the way down, the chassis was sagging a little bit, so you had less clearance directly in the center. So that's good. Let's try a little bit faster crawling. See how it does. Of course, it's probably going to hang up on this rock right here. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Great truck. Then you can just, oh, just nailed that post. Then you can just go kind of fast if you want. Oh, so it's got to be kind of careful on the high speed turns on super grippy. That's kind of funny. Wow, it launches too. So it feels kind of bouncy just because it's got like a pretty tight suspension. Like I think it's pretty thick oil in the shocks. So it's feeling bouncy, like not as plush as most trucks. But check it out when I just full throttle it and it launches, it just soaks everything up. Even though it's going, you know, kind of slow, it hits kind of hard, but then it just soaks it up. It's not bouncy like other trucks. Ooh, a little flip there. Nice. It's handling though. I'm just like full throttling it, trying to break something. Again, this does have like metal drivetrain all the way through, so I'm not really scared to just crank it, especially since there's no brushless motor in here or anything. With if you put a LiPo battery in there, it can take 2S. You should notice definitely a significant power increase. Woohoo! Do some tricks here. The other way won't lift up as much at all. Nice. Man, I haven't had a monster truck like this in a long time. There's just something kind of about the scale look of it. Even though it's not like a full-on basher, like something like, you know, like a JBL Cheetah or like a Bison, V-Car Bison, or like a Traxxas E-Max or X-Max. Still, there's something to be said for a truck like this that just has that like authentic look and feel to it, even though it doesn't handle like nearly as good as, you know, a truck like that for bashing. Let's go down the street here and test the range, guys. I'm just gonna walk out here in the cul-de-sac and just keep going back and forth, keep the kind of the controller by my chest. I do have that antenna out up on the top. Yeah, we're all the way out to the road. I don't want to get run over by a car. No problem whatsoever. Not even the slightest dropout. So good radio system. On full throttle now, you can see how slow it's coming back. Little pull to the... Yeah, so it's not going to be like super precision steering just because that chassis is, you know, it's a crawler chassis. So it's like moving all over the place. Let's just launch it here. Whoa. It's not a fast truck, but it's fun, man. Yeah, boom. Let's try to climb up a curb again. There we go. Let's look at that articulation from the side while we're doing this. Oh, you see that? Pretty cool, classic crawler. I'm just gonna kind of feather it and see how it comes up. Oh, see that rock messed it up. Let's try that again. Point into the curb, get it up, and then just crawl it right up. I wonder if you can just kind of hit it hard, if it'll come over forward. Yeah, you can do that too. You're just gonna scratch up the bottom of your chassis a little bit. You can see how there's some torque roll in the body too, like the top. Since it is like the whole frame is on top of the axles, you can see when I go into reverse and go forward, see how the body tilts a little bit, just like a classic monster truck. No problem for this thing though to just do whatever you want. Ooh, just nailed the front pumpkin and steering components. Let's try to go over this, a little rock jump here that I always try to do. See how it fares on this if we just hold it. Yeah. So classic monster truck style suspension where it's a little bouncy, but it does soak it up. Nice. Yeah, so this thing's just gonna crawl over pretty much whatever you want it to. I like having the ability to easily hop it up too, you know, put some really nice rims and tires on it that'll give you way more traction. And oh, there's also a four-wheel steering kit. I didn't even go over the manual with you guys, but there's actually a steering kit for the rear wheel you can put on the rear, and so you can have four-wheel steering. So anyway, this is how it's going. Slightly hung up on those flowers. I don't want to destroy those flowers too much. Just do a little bit more bashing and then we'll call it quits. Whoa, there we go. Hit it from that side. Wow, we're getting, battery's starting to feel a little bit low. Maybe not. Oh. Just loads of fun though. I'm having loads of fun. Nothing broke yet, guys. Still A-okay. I can't imagine anything breaking on this for, you know, not too much power it's got. Because it's just, I think it can handle way more power than what it's dealing with right now. That's kind of cool looking, isn't it? Having that front wheel come up. Whoa! Ooh! Oh, my new body. Let's see what's going on. I can handle it though. Minor. Nothing at all wrong. Let's look at how the suspension's working here. Yeah, so that's just pushing on the top all the way down to the bottom. You can see the wheels aren't rubbing. The reason I put that body up so high was because look at how much articulation it has. It even will start to rub, even with the body all the way up. Just when the shock kind of bottoms out, there's slight rub, and that's exactly what I wanted. Let's see how the front is. And the front, of course, can turn too, so you got this thing all the way up, plus the wheel is going to turn, so it's going to rub a little bit. Oh yeah, no problem getting over curbs. Just eats them up. Oh! I was right into that left tire. I'm assuming maybe of constant running, you're probably gonna get around 20 minutes. Ooh, right on the axle. Just because it's so big and there's so many components it's pushing. It does only have one motor, but you know, it's a full metal drivetrain. Oh, we didn't really try any jumping, did we? I'm not sure if this thing would really jump, but let's just try. The battery actually feels like it's starting to get weak. I'm not even sure if a jump's gonna be possible. Yeah, you're not gonna get much jumping out of this truck at all. Nope. Okay, yeah, so I can feel the battery getting down. I'm gonna wrap it up here. Oh, a little bit of bump steer from that tire just going wah 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 wah. Yeah, I can't even lift up the wheel anymore because it's getting low. Cool, so let's wrap it up here and we'll do a little pros and cons of this truck. So first of all, as you know, it's not super high tech. I mean, the frame is a nice solid plastic frame. It's that classic crawler frame, monster truck frame. Again, the articulation is amazing. So amazing suspension, great shocks, oil-filled shocks. Just kind of lacking on, if you get this version with the nickel metal hydride battery and the brushed motor. It's a little weak, as you can see. I'm not sure if they're trying to go for maybe a BIGFOOT look, but you know, the tires are a little bit to be desired, not much traction on them, so definitely upgrade those if you can. As you can see, this thing does have like a center diff, so there's like a center diff here and there's two diffs here. So if you get that crawler kit, they give you these little blocks and you got to take apart the diffs, put the block in the planetary differential on 1, 2, 3, and then it's completely locked all the way, so there's no differential movement. So these are just going to spin together and the back is going to spin at the same time as the front all the time. And again, there was a steering kit for the rear, so that was pretty cool. You can put that on if you want. I might go ahead and get that and turn this thing into more of a crawler. But just a little bit lacking on the stickers. It was a little bit generic, the stickers they provided, but of course you're getting a clear body, so you're gonna do what you want with it. I think that cement color looks really cool. Anyway guys, I will have the links down in the description as usual, down below, down there, so check it out, click on the link, see how much this thing costs and see some more of the specs on it. Anyway guys, not super powerful but loads of fun, and I will see you guys the next one. I hope you enjoyed this review of the BF-4 and it was informative for you. By VRX Racing actually is the company, so check that out, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.